kitchen, family. That's right, your girl is back in the kitchen. I've always been in the kitchen. I just haven't been live and in living color in 2021, people. I am so excited to be live today. Let me come around because here's the situation. One, I'm working with a new mic situation. So I want to make sure that, one, you can hear me loud and clear, okay? That's the number one thing. So if you can hear me, then that's a good thing. Otherwise, I'm going to be looking like, and that's just not good, okay? Two, we are making some Asian-inspired chicken today, okay? So I have all the stuff for us to make this dish because it's Friday. And typically on a Friday, you know what we want to do? We want to have some takeout. Now, I don't know if you all have been continuing to cook in your own kitchens because, you know, we were doing a lot of cooking last year. I'm not sure if you ditched that whole idea. You're like, you know what? It's 2021. That's a wrap. I'm done with it. I don't know if you wrapped it up. I'm not sure. But what I wanted to tell you was, who was this? Okay, I don't know. What I'm about to do here is get on live so I can see what's happening so I don't have to keep walking around there. I'm not sure if you're still cooking or you just gave up that whole situation. You're like, you know what? Not interested in it anymore. I'm personally still cooking and I'm still going to come here from my kitchen and share with you meals that I think you can whip up in like no time flat, okay? So that's what we're going to do today. One, we're kicking off season 4. This is like this is season 4 of being live in the kitchen. And I'm like so excited. This is episode 46. That's right, 46 times. We have either been in my kitchen or we have been in my living room, but we have been live 46 times. That's a lot. That's a lot of work for us to be putting it together. I'm just letting you know. So, that's what's happening today. I'm going to pull it up here. So we have, of course, the encouragement segment today. We have our food that we're going to be cooking, and we have a lot of other things just to catch up on. Like, for instance, you're probably saying to yourself, girl, where have you been? We haven't seen you. And then some of you are like, you know what? Not interested. Didn't even notice. Personally, I have been minding my business. Brother, I see you're on here. Can you hear me, brother? That's what I want to make sure. Give me a thumbs up so that I'll know you can actually hear me. If you can't hear me, we have a situation. Oh, you can hear me because I just pulled it up myself. And now I see that you are, and I can hear myself, so that's a good thing. So, I'll turn this down. So good. Now I know that my mic situation is working and I am so excited. Thanks, Brella. Okay, so what was I saying? Oh, the encouragement segment today. We have, oh no, I was catching you up on where I've been. So basically I have just been minding my business. I have just been enjoying some downtime. I came off of social media during the holiday break, and for me personally, I enjoy like not being on the scene for a while. It gives me time to like just chill and get refreshed and keep my mind clear and focus on what it is that I'm wanting to focus on and just have some downtime. I'm not sure if you do that, but that personally works for me. I like being off the scene, refreshed, and then come back and hit it hard. Do I normally make announcements when I drop off the scene? Not really. But I'll tell you this right here. I only do it like about twice a year, during the summertime when I go on vacation, and then at the end of the year when I go on vacation again. And so that's what I did. I'm not sure how your new year is kicking off, but I do hope that you entered into 2021 with like fired up, refreshed, charged up, just uplifted. We had so many things happening in 2021, and a lot of things are still happening for many people. But I'm just praying that in spite of all the things that's happening in our world, that the things that you can control, that you are in control of them, and that you have really taken taking on this year with a new attitude, new approach to life, just a new attitude towards winning. Let me turn on my rice back here, because you know I'm not about to eat many Asian inspired dishes without having some type of rice. So on the menu, before I start getting into the encouragement segment, let me just remind you again. We have an Asian inspired chicken dish that I'm going to do. Now this recipe is actually in my cookbook, so I'm excited to share this with you. So I'm going to do it firsthand. One of the things that I changed was in the recipe that I have in the cookbook, it calls for broccolini. Didn't have broccolini, so I went with broccoli. So it all works. That's what you do with cooking. You use the items that you have on hand. You look at cookbooks and recipes. This is, at least this is how I think about it. You look at those things as inspiration. You get the general idea. I'm not an exact measurement person. I like to have the general concept of what is being prepared, and then I make it my own. It's just that simple. Like it's like an outline. It's an inspiration of some sort. If I have most of the ingredients, then it's a good shot that I would make the dish. If I'm missing too many things that the recipe is calling for, chances are I won't make it, or I may just do it and just again, make it my own. So what I'm going to do first to get this dish rolling is I started out with some grass-fed butter, and what I just poured in was some extra virgin olive oil. Because first, we're going to fry off some organic chicken breast that I have diced and just seasoned with salt and pepper and a little bit of garlic powder. I wanted to keep it pretty simple. I chopped up some onions, some yellow peppers, mushrooms, carrots, and then I have the broccoli. Then I'm going to make a soy-based type sauce that's going to bring it all together. So it's going to be like sweet and savory at the same time, because I have some, and a little bit of spice, because I have some honey and sriracha in here. And to thicken it up just a little bit, I have some almond flour. So almond flour is my preference, but you feel free to use whichever flour you use. But I just used almond flour here, but you can substitute it for cornstarch if you use that, or just regular flour. So let's get this meal going, because I know that some of you are probably, on your lunch break. That's why I typically do it during this time. Personally, I'm like an 11 o'clock lunch person. That's when my body is like, let's do it. But then there's a lot of people that fall into that 12 o'clock category. Some people even fall into the 1 o'clock category. Some people are 2 o'clock. Am I here at 2 o'clock? Not really. So I try to go between the hours of not exactly at 11, not exactly at 12, so I hit you right in the middle. If you were ever curious and saying, I wonder why she starts at 11:30, I'm just kind of like holding myself over really until the 11:30 time frame so I can really eat. But again, that's just what I do for you all. That's free. That's what I do. Hey Mary, how are you, girlfriend? I can see you out here. Let's get cooking. So, in first, chicken. I wanted to make sure the pan was hot, a little bit hotter, but I'm going to just have to go with it at this point and get the chicken in the pan. Now, I have chicken breasts that I cut up, and if you want it, you could also use chicken thighs here for this dish. And because I use chicken breast, I went ahead and put the butter in. If I was using thighs, I might not have done the butter, because you want to get some good flavor on this chicken. And sometimes, and you want it to be juicy. And sometimes, a chicken breast can just be not as juicy as chicken thighs. So that's why that's why I added the butter to the dish. The other thing that we're going to do, so we'll let the chicken cook, the thighs cook, and then we'll take it out and add the veggies back in. Am I going to clean this pan once I take the chicken out? Not a chance, because we're building flavor, okay? You want to build flavor. Don't be in here dumping stuff off, wiping the pans out. You're taking away all the flavor. Nobody has time for all of that. We need all the flavor in the dish, okay? So, what else was I about to do? Oh, let's go right into the encouragement segment. Okay, because we're moving right along, people. It's 2021. I'm not going to be stretching out all the stuff. I'm just getting right to the point, okay? I'm just getting right to the point. So listen, for the year 2021, I am hoping that one, refreshed and recharged with the start of the year. I'm also hoping that you have set an intention for your year. Okay? I know that there's so many of us that set a resolution for the year, and it's typically the standard diet. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to save more money. I'm going to drink more water, that kind of stuff, right? And those are very great intentions. Those are great things to resolve, okay? Because you can only become better if you're eating the right foods, if you're losing weight, the proper weight for your body, if you're exercising, if you're drinking water. All that stuff is great. What I would encourage you to do is to really identify yourselves as the person, as the thing that you're trying to become. There has to be an identity piece in the thing that you're after, or it doesn't really stick to us. It doesn't, if you can't really identify yourself or see yourself, envision yourself, grab hold of that version of yourself that is already healthy, that is already, budgeting their money properly, that is already eating the right foods and nutrients and all of that stuff, drinking, like if you haven't really identified yourself and grabbed hold of that version of yourself, it's gonna be really hard to sustain what you're going after. That's why when you really look at it, if you go and you look at some studies, you're gonna see that there's about 80% of people who make resolutions, they typically fall off by the second week of February. You're done with it. The quick fix diet didn't work, or if it worked, you lost the weight and it came right back. You get bogged down and you're just not really as motivated as you were when the calendar struck January 1st. And a big part of that is because we haven't had an identity crisis, if you would. We never really identified ourselves and really dug deep and figured out who we must become to sustain and maintain the thing that we're after. Who must I become in order to truly sustain the desired outcomes for my life? I can't be the same person that was not handling the money well. I can't be that person and still want the thing to come to me, right? Because even if it came to me, it's not going to be able to stay around because it has no place to really land. So just really think about what is it that you're looking to achieve for this year, and start to truly have an identity crisis. To be honest with you, you have to have an identity crisis. You have to shake up the old things that were no longer working for you. And that can come, the shaking up, if you would, that can come in multiple ways. It could be through you reading books. It could be through you changing the environments that you're in. There's so many different ways that we can start to receive new information about the new identity that we're after. We just have to be willing to truly go after that thing. And so, just really think about that. What is it that I truly want? Not a temporary thing. What is the thing that I'm really, truly looking after that will become the new lifestyle habit that I'm truly going to live out? You can't really, I'm not really a big diet person. I don't diet. I stopped dieting years ago because it doesn't work for me. And so the moment that I gave up that diet mentality, I just naturally lost the weight that I was no longer holding on to. And there were other things that came in with that, but I gave up the temporary diet mentality, and I grabbed hold of a lifestyle that would be comparable to my routines, to my budget, to just the way that I navigate in the world. And when I started doing that, it made a world of difference, okay? And so think about that for a moment. If you're not, if you haven't decided on the lifestyle that you would like to live, why would you then just all of a sudden pick up the new cabbage soup diet or the new, how to get out of debt quick? I don't know, all these different things. Like, your identity and who you are and the lifestyle that you are currently living, if it's working for you, great. But the lifestyle that you're ultimately connection to it, right? And so I personally believe that if there's a desire for a change, like a true change, like a fundamental change, not a change based on what someone else is doing. If there's a true desire for a difference in your life, it'll come to you because you're going to be open and receptive to receiving the new way of being. And so just really think about that. Be open and receptive to receiving what you're truly desiring. And it can't be based on what other people have, what other people are doing, any of that stuff. All of that stuff is just temporary, superficial, won't stick around kind of stuff. And we don't want to do that. We want to live the life that we truly desire, and we want to live life from the inside out. Okay? So that's what I wanted to tell you as far as the encouragement segment today. And I'm hoping that throughout this entire year, not just the month of January, that you have, if you're the person who set the resolution for themselves, that you would just change the wording. Think about an intention, and with intentionality, think about who you must become in order to truly sustain the lifestyle. Think about a lifestyle fix, not just a quick fix diet thing. Not about that life. We're not about that life, okay? I want to get a different plate for the chicken. Hold 1 second. So my chicken is brown enough. So I'm just going to take the chicken, put it on a plate. And again, if you came in just a minute ago, I already told you, we're not cleaning out this here skillet. You know I love me a cast iron skillet. We are just going to add the veggies to the skillet and keep all this flavor going, okay? So, in here I have, you know what I'm going to put a little bit of red pepper flake in here to add a little bit more heat. So I have some sriracha, so I have to be careful because that sriracha, it'll get you. And now I'm just going to add in some, I have my onions. So you got onions going in. We have some yellow peppers, some mushrooms, and then the carrots. And so I want to get those going. And then I'll add in the broccoli a little bit later, because you don't want the broccoli to be mushy. At least I don't want my broccoli to be mushy. Some of you are about that life. And you know what? Live your best life. I'm going to add in, now I know I used butter earlier. I used a little bit of olive oil, but for taste, I have some sesame, some toasted sesame oil. So I'm just going to put that in there. Just a little bit. Or, there we go. Now, that's enough. So I got my sesame oil. And I'm going to turn my heat down just a little bit. And I want these veggies just to cook. Now the carrots are going to take a little bit longer. So I'm going to get those like flat on the pan. Now, while that's happening, who do we have on here? Paula's in the house. Cherie is in the house. And Carol's in the house. Hey Carol, how's it going, girlfriend? Do I deliver? Asking for a friend. Tell your friend no. Paula, tell your friend no. While that's happening, you know, I'm going to get myself some water. I'm going to make the sauce for the food. You watch how quick this is going to come together. You're going to be like, takeout, ooh, no takeout for me. You're going to want to make this right in your own house. So, here's the sauce. And in case you didn't realize it, I went right past the encouragement segment. I just kept going. I rolled right into the next thing. So, boop, boop, boop. As a matter of fact, I need somebody to make me a little beat that says boop, 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 so I can stop actually doing that. But, anywho. So, here's my sauce situation. I have some soy sauce here. I'm just going to get a little soy in here. That's about enough. I'm going to add in the honey and sriracha. And I just put them together because I didn't want to dirty up another bowl. So a little honey and sriracha all together. And then I'm going to take some garlic, right? Some fresh garlic. Do you guys buy fresh garlic? You should if you don't. I love having a bunch of fresh garlic around. And I cook for both. I put some garlic powder on the chicken earlier. And I also want to put this fresh garlic because it really does change the whole situation. Put the fresh garlic in the sauce. Just grating that in. And we also have some fresh ginger. And that's going to really take it over the top. Just saying. And again, this stuff right here, this dish is in my cookbook. So if you're like, what did she say again? Let me see. Let me roll back the tape. You don't really have to do that. You can order yourself a cookbook, which I'll talk about here in a second. Oh, my thing fell. And you can have it right in your kitchen. Or you could essentially play back the tape. But I think you should get yourself a book. Now, I got some fresh ginger. We're just going to grate that right in. I'd already cut it, so it's just where I need it. Oh, these veggies smell so good. Now, I tried to go easy on the salt. Because, again, the soy sauce. So we got that. I'm going to use a fork here and just give this a little whisk. Just give that a little whisk. Did you guys watch the Salt and Pepper reunion show or story on Lifetime this weekend? First off, you still can't tell me that I'm not a part of that group. This is a little white vinegar that I put in. Just a splash. It'll help to add a little acidity. You could not tell me that I was not a part of the group back then or recently while they were on. Now I'm going to be honest with you. I got Lifetime black pepper. I got Lifetime mixed up with BET and was thinking that should I fall asleep, this was going to be playing a couple more times. That wasn't the case. Lifetime was like, you guys better come on and watch this. We're going to play this one more time tonight, and that's about it for you all. That's basically what happened. So, truth be told, I fell asleep. So, if there's any of you that's out there that can tell me what else happened on that, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm going to put in a little bit of flour. Remember I told you I'm using almond flour. This is a good alternative, a healthy alternative to regular flour, all-purpose flour. Just to give it a little bit of thickness. So when I put the sauce in the pan, it'll coat the pan, it'll coat the veggies. I'm going to turn this back up a little bit. And then also the honey that's in the pan, the honey that's in the sauce is going to act like a thickener as well. So I'm just going to pour that over. Now you pour it in. I think in the recipe, I think I literally measured it out so people would know. I think it was like 3 tablespoons of soy. You can add a little bit of, if you find that you don't have enough sauce in the pan, just add yourself a little water or chicken stock. That'll help to loosen it up a little bit, just to cut that sauce a little bit, the soy. And then when you thought it was over and you're like, is that it? No, the chicken goes back into the pan. So look at that. Everybody's back in the pan. And they're going to hang out for just like a couple of minutes while you and I continue to chat. And look how quick that was. I started probably about 2 or 3 minutes late. Might have been 5, I'm not sure, but you get my point. It's like just about done. So this is going to like just all come together in that little short period of time that we have been on. Ooh, ooh. And then you know what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to plate it up, take a couple of bites in your face. That has not changed. That part of our segment together has not changed. Hey, Laura, how are you? So, I hope you're having a happy new year. Welcome to the live. We're making Asian-inspired chicken today. I say we because we're all in this together. Somebody is going to go home tonight and make this dish. I can feel it in my bones, people. Okay, now back to the salt and pepper. First off, you couldn't tell me that I wasn't a part of this group. In my mind, as a kid growing up watching them, you couldn't tell me that I was really not. They could have called me Five Spice, and I would have just fit right in because first off, I had all the moves. I had a full-on dance group that I was like making sure they were working too. Because if there was a talent show opportunity, we were going to be in it. And if they didn't want to participate, I was going to hold it down by myself, which I often did. There was a talent show. I said, hey, let's go win. That's what I would tell my parents. Let's go bring home the gold. And I would, do all of it. I had all of it. The backflip, everything. The only thing I did not have probably was that haircut. Because at the time, I think I was too young. And then eventually I started getting the haircut, the asymmetrical Jerry curl cut. Yeah, people. I said Jerry curl. I had the asymmetrical Jerry curl. I don't remember or not if I actually colored it, but I did have it. But again, you couldn't tell me anything. And again, Lifetime, if you're on here, Lifetime Movie Network, I fell asleep. So I don't really know what happened. In all actuality, I don't really know what happened after they were in Russia, and Salt was like, you know what, this doesn't work for me anymore. I don't really know what happened. I'm just, if you guys want to take my card for that, then you can, but that's the truth. Okay, so now let me get this stuff out of my way, because I have a little bit of the OC and the D. So let me move this stuff out of my way. Get it out of view. Give this thing here a little rinse. And we're about to be in full-on eating mode. Can you see what's happening in the pan? Sunshine, do you see the activity that's taking place in this pan? This is called the Friday takeout. Sunshine, I think Sunshine was a part of my group at one point. Were you ever part of my dance group? I would be getting down with the get down when it came to the dancing. So, anywho, I forgot what I was about to say after that. I saw her name and it threw me off. That's my friend. We've been my cousin friend. We're since little kids. Anywho, let me stay focused because I know some of you have to go back to wherever it is that you are. I don't know if you're in your cubicles. I don't know where you are. You're like, girl, we came here to see you cook that food, get a little bit of encouragement segment. We don't need to keep reminiscing about you and Salt and Pepper. That's all I know. Okay, so listen. I know some of you are also saying to yourself, something, what is she saying? She said, that's all me. Hey, Lisa, how's it going? I thought you might have been a part of the group. I thought so, but maybe you weren't. Now, I turned the heat off, so this is just simmering. In case you're like, what is that sound? It's the sound of the sauce just simmering. Again, if you just came on, we have Asian-inspired chicken. So I made a sauce. I had a soy sauce, honey, sriracha, some fresh garlic, some fresh ginger, and what else did I put in there? A little splash of white vinegar to just add a little bit of acidity to it. So this is all done. Now the rice is happening in the background, which I think this is done as well. Yep. Just gonna turn that off. And we did this all about 30 minutes or so. Not even 30, right? Not even 30. So you could definitely do this meal tonight should you want it. Tonight. Okay, let's keep moving right along. Boop, boop, boop. What's next on the list? Oh, listen, people. Speaking of where I've been, I know you're like, who asked her that I'm just trying to tell you again. I have been, number one, minding my business. Just laying low, minding my business. You know how I do. I'm not trying to figure out what everyone else is doing. I'm just staying focused. So, over the last month and a half, can you say challenging? Challenging. Just say the word with me. Challenging for me. So, speaking of going back to the encouragement segment earlier, I had to truly take in my own advice and really live the thing that I'm telling you to do, or when I'm in my coaching practice and with my private clients, I'm telling them to, stay focused on what it is that you're intending. Stay focused on your intentions. Stay focused on truly who you must become in the moment. Who must I become in the moments to come, right? So for me, you all know that I launched my very first cookbook back in November. Happy, woo, let's go, let's get it done, people. Thank you all for the orders. Shortly thereafter, oh my gosh, so many challenges came with the production of this book. Things that I didn't foresee. And so I had to really regroup. I had to make some executive decisions and go in a different direction with regards to the distributor and so many other things. But what I ultimately had to do was decide, was I going to stay focused on my intentions, or was I going to retreat, have a pity party, get mad, get angry? Was I going to abort the intention? I had to make a decision that I would still ultimately, like this particular event wasn't a defining moment in my life. It wasn't a defining moment in my business. It wasn't anything other than a challenge that I had to overcome. I had to clear out the clutter so that clarity would come back in. I had to clear out the clutter so that I can continue to receive what it is that I was intending. And so I truly had to live that. I'm living that in this moment, So I'm never giving you advice on things in the encouragement segment that I'm not taking on as word, as what I'm actually doing in my own life. And so I will, again, just going back to the encouragement segment for just a moment, I encourage you to, no matter what it is that you may be facing, really settle within yourself. Like, settle within yourself that you're going to still, in spite of, no matter what, you're going to still receive the thing that you intended. What is it that is what is the truth of the moment? Just allow that to come up for you. Like, what is this here to teach me? What am I supposed to be receiving in this moment? Receive it and continue on. That's my advice. Receive it and continue on. Because when we're resisting the things that's happening to us, we're out of flow in our lives. I've spoken to you about that before. We always want to make sure that we're in flow. The moment that we get off track and get into the resistance of a thing, we've taken ourselves out of the flow of what out of the flow of our own lives. And that's not what we want to do. That's not what I do in my life. That's not what I'm ever going to encourage you to do. I'm never going to just say, oh, yeah, just, fight the thing, fight. Not all of that. No one has time for that. It's a new year. There's new opportunities. Life is always dishing us out new opportunities to learn and grow and develop in new ways. And don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid to accept the lesson, apply it to your life, and I think we'll all be better because of it. So that's what I'll say as far as the cookbook. I have so many of you have been so patient and so loving and understanding, and I'm just like in awe. That in and of itself is just like such a beautiful thing to me, and it's just like I'm just like humbled by it, so humbled by it, and I'm just appreciative and grateful for the support of so many people. Some of you, I don't honestly have no clue who you are. I mean, that's what happens in business. You don't always get to know who your customers are, who you're really serving. You have an idea of the character of the people that you're servicing. You have you know, you have your demographics, your niche, and all of that stuff. But there's a lot of times you have no clue who the people are. All I do know is that I have received so much love and support, and I'm just like so grateful for your patience and your understanding, and yeah, that's all I can really say for that. So just really excited about being able to restock books. Probably by the end of March, we would be restocking books and get them out to those of you that wanted to purchase books and didn't get in on the first wave. It's okay. We'll have a fresh start. I'm going to be doing business with a whole new set of people, and it's just going to be a great project. That's what I'm just putting it out there. So I'm just excited about that, to be able to present that to you all later this year. Now, if you all are not signed up for the Shaniqua Cousins newsletter, you need to get on the newsletter, okay? Because let me tell you why. Your girl is doing several different partnership deals throughout this year. Well, just in general, okay? And my partners, my peeps are like, hey girl, we have some discounts for your people, okay? And so if you're on the newsletter, you're going to start seeing different partners that I've partnered with, different brands that I've partnered with, and the discounts that they're going to be sharing with you, that they are going to be giving you all, because you're a part of the SC community. That's all I'm saying. So for instance, my people over at Bright and Smile, this is where I'm really transitioning from talking to you and going into full-on commercial at this moment, okay? In case you're like, what's happening? Is she selling? This is what's happening. Disclaimer, full-on commercial. My friends over at Bright and Smiles, they said, hey Shaniqua girl, we like your smile and we think you would be great at helping us share the news of the great products we have with your people. I said, you know what? I think you're right. That's what I said to them. I think you're right. Thank you. I do believe my people would appreciate it. So let me tell you what they did. They sent your girl a box of their goodies. It's like a blue light and a red light, and it's definitely helping to whiten the smile, to brighten the smile. And I said, you know what I'm going to do for my people? I'm going to give them the 25% off situation that they sent me. And I'm going to pass those things on to you in the form of the newsletter. So if you're not signed up for the newsletter and you don't want a brighter smile, then that's all I can tell you. And then I know some of you were thinking to yourselves, I wonder where she got that chicken she was just cooking. That chicken looks like it came from Butcher Box. I know that's what you were thinking to yourself. That's right, people. This chicken did come from Butcher Box. I've been using this company for about 2 years now. I love it. They deliver right there outside my doorstep every month, like clockwork. And they said again, hey girl, I think you should share what we have with your peeps. I said, you know what? You're right. So guess what they're doing? They're giving you $30 off your first box should you sign up. They have 100% grass-fed beef, organic chicken, and heritage pork. And they have all kinds of seafood and other things. So again, I went full on commercial mode for you. That's how I do it. Now I'm about to come back in and go full on and plate this food up so we can eat some food, okay? First things first, I'm going to put a little rice on in my bowl because no one is eating this stuff here without rice. That's all I do know. Let me get a little rice. This is a serving bowl, now that I really think of it, but it's all good. I'm just going to put it in here and just eat it up. I'm just trying to basically show you what could happen in your own situation on a Friday afternoon. That's all I'm really trying to show you here. So look, we got the meat and the veggies. Look at that. Plate that up. It's looking delicious. And don't you worry, in case you're like, is she going to show us this stuff? You know that I'm going to show this to you. You know that without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt, I'm about to walk around to that camera and show you what's happening. Now, you remember that sauce we put on there? Just drizzle that across the top. Because all of that is flavored. Don't leave the sauce behind. Like, who would actually leave the sauce behind? Like, why did you make it? Now the sauce has a little sweet heat and acidity, because remember we added in the, what did we add in? The vinegar. Okay. All right, let's take a look at our bowl. I can see right now we got to clean up just a little spill. Don't just serve your food and just give it to people all not looking good. That's the only other way I can put it. So here we go. Here I come. I'll bring it around. Chiquita, do you see this? Oh, I got a little spill on here. Don't worry, I'm gonna clean it up. Right there. Boom. Right out the way. Do you see what's happening? Okay. Chiquita, were you ever a part of my dance? No, you weren't a part of no dance group. You couldn't hardly come out when we were a little girl. I'm just saying. Okay, so let me go on in here. Oh, did I just let your business out like that? My bad, friend. Seriously. Seriously. You guys, Cherie, not only does it look good, thank you, Mom, it tastes so good. Listen, don't go by any restaurant today. Just go home and make this. Now the mushroom and the chicken is flavored just right too. So again, I took the chicken earlier. I seasoned it with salt. Oh, you know what I forgot to put in? Why didn't y'all remind me to put in the flaxseed? Don't worry. You know I have to put flaxseed in everything. This is just a little brown flax. Put it in there. They won't know. Your family won't know. It'll all just dissolve. The mushrooms, the onions, the broccoli. Now, again, in the book, you'll see this recipe. It calls for broccolini, but today I didn't have any broccolini. I didn't want to go out to the store, so I just got some frozen broccoli. It still has the crunch. All I'm saying, you saw me make it live. There wasn't nobody didn't come in. I didn't go to commercial break, except for when I was selling you those products, but not a real actual commercial break. No one came in. There wasn't no stunt doubles. It took us about 35 minutes. You can whip this up. This right here is probably about, let's say you could get about 4 servings out of this. Because I like to feed people good. I don't want to have no small, And in all actuality, I only use 1 chicken breast. Again, those butcher box chicken breasts. I only used 1 that came in my pack. So I had like 1 pack. This is chicken thighs. But I only had 1 chicken breast that came in that particular pack. It was a big chicken breast, and I just diced it up. So just to let you know, get about 2 pieces of chicken, nice thick chicken breast, chop them up, dice them up really good. You can get yourself about 6 servings in here. Okay, boop, boop, boop. Moving right along. Let's see what else I have on the list for us today. Let's see. I think I talked about everything. Remember, encouragement segment, who must I become? If we're wanting to get new things in our lives, we have to be open and receptive, okay? So, who must I become? A resolution has to be based in how we identify ourselves. If not, chances are the resolution will be over very shortly. Like literally 80% of resolutions, they die off by the 2nd week of February, which is why I also waited until later in the month to come on here. Well, we had too much going on at the beginning of the month, truth be told. And I was cold chilling. It was too much going on. So I said, you know what, girl, you should wait. Just wait until the end of the month and get on here, because people will not be as distracted, and quite frankly, you can just continue to mind your business and cold chill. That's how I think. So, okay. All right, let's keep moving right along. What else do we have going on? don't forget, those brand partners are definitely sending some stuff your way. So if you're on my newsletter list, you're going to get yourself a $30 off. If you want to check out Butcher Box, you'll get $30 off of that. And then if you want to get Brighten Smiles, if you want to, you know, all that up on your grams, you're like, and people are going to be, something looks different about Cherie. Her smile is brighter. Then you're going to be like, yeah, girl, because I got 25% off with Shaniqua's code. It all works out. We're in this together. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. And if you're not on the newsletter list, all you have to do right now, or in a couple of minutes, go to ShaniquaCousins.com. That's right, ShaniquaCousins.com. Sign up. You'll see newsletter. Boop, boop. Sign up. I want to be a part of this. That's all you have to do. I'll get the little ding notification, and then you'll be added to my list, and you'll get it. Our new newsletter comes out this afternoon, to be honest with you. And I have another announcement. But hold on. Just let me get through this thing right here so I can stay focused. Focus, girlfriend. Let's see. I think I got through all of it. This is the other big kicker. Next month, I'm coming back live on the 12th of February, and we're going to be doing a Valentine's Day meal, a budget-friendly Valentine's Day meal. So we're going to bring you, we as in my recurring, what's the word I'm looking for? She's a returning guest co-host, and she's a home and personality specialist, if you would. Paula Bonilla is coming back, guys. She was here with us last Valentine's, and we did up a budget-friendly meal. So we're going to be doing that again on February 12th. So make sure you tune in that day, the 12th of February at 11:30. Again, I go in between lunch hours. Hit the people that go at 11, people that go at 12. This is the sweet spot, 11:30 to 12:30. What we got? 12:19. We are on track. You see how professional we are now? Ever since we got those brand partners, we have been so different. Lexus, ever since okay, see you later, some more. Ever since we got new brand partner deals and stuff, we have been so different. That's all I'm saying. And Lexus, I know you just came on. We make Asian-inspired chicken. So you're going to have to roll back the tape. But in the meantime, I'll just eat a little bit of this in your face so you don't get jealous. Then all the other people saw it. Okay? What else we got going on? That's all we have. Next live, February 12th at 11:30. Don't forget, go out there, sign up for the newsletter. Great things coming out on the newsletter, to include an all-new coaching boot camp that I'm rolling out in March. So if you're interested in getting some personal life and health coaching, you all know that I started back last April getting my certification. I'm done with it, and I have been coaching all fall, really, and I'm still coaching. I'm just excited to roll out a actual group program in March. So all of that stuff is in the newsletter. And my light went out, so I guess that means that's all, folks. Thank you for coming on the live. I'll see you guys live again in a couple weeks. In the meantime and in between time, make sure you're blessed. Be blessed. My light is just all the way off at this moment, like all the way. Okay, people, that means that's a wrap. Alrighty, see ya.